Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Skulk, continuing the story of Winds of Change. We are just about to meet the last room before said battle begins, but I feel like the battle's not going to begin for an episode after this. Maybe. But it's getting really close. Alright. Let's have a lesson, Ulrich.
Oh, this place is incredible. Draku sure knows how to throw a party. What about you, Ulrich? Having fun?
Draku was my enemy, Valessa. We're practically being held prisoner. Despite that, yeah, I'm having a good time.
I could tell, actually. How many drinks is that? 5? You don't want to fight with a hangover, do you?
It wouldn't be the first time. I've taught myself to fight in any state of being. Just something you learn to do when you're as old as I am.
And how old is that?
Old enough. Besides, I doubt I'll have much trouble tomorrow. Even if I fought Draku while drunk, I could take him down. So don't worry about my well-being. I've got this.
You can fight while you're drunk, too?
Of course. It actually makes things easier. Your movements are sloppy and unpredictable. That's all you need to confuse and overpower your opponent.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's a pretty unique fighting style. You'll be sober tomorrow, though, right?
Depends on how tonight goes. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just go and have a good time, alright?
Alright, if you say so. This is gonna be super interesting. 2 undefeated men, locked in combat.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put on a good show for you. It's like a sport. Everybody will be watching intently. You better cheer for me. I'll be listening, Valessa.
Sure.
Determination fills my heart. I will cheer for you, Ulrich. Dominic and Pro.
So, Pro, are you having a good time?
Of course. All according to plan. I know Ulrich is mad, but he'll get over it. We can win this without either of us dying.
It's true. But, I was asking, because why the heck did you do this? How you doing, Pro?
Yeah, just take out the leader, right? Ulrich is stubborn, though, so be careful. I think he might actually try to kill you.
I've been watching him spar for years. I'll be fine. I know exactly how he operates. The best weapon is knowledge, right?
You remembered my lessons.
How could I forget? It'll help me win this battle. I know it. Make sure to cheer me on, alright?
I think I'd like to remain silent, actually. I can't be taking sides at a time like this. As long as we get an alliance, I'm happy.
Oh, come on. Not even gonna clap for me. I'll remember that when you give another speech.
Well, you kind of jumped the gun. I thought we were all on the same side, but you can't tell everyone to be on the same side. If someone wants to side with one and one with the other, if it's just a competition, then all for it. Be on whose side you want. Football, basketball, soccer, anything of that sort. I'm saying soccer because I'm in America, but I know that football is the real name of soccer around the world, so I can still sneeze. Okay, hey guy, got under control. Anyways, so yeah, but this is a life or death thing. I really hope none of them die, but one of the leaders has to die, so either Draku or Vivian.
I think my days of giving speeches are over, Pro. That honor belongs to the monarch now. But I'm sure they'd say the same as me.
Man, I hate how neutral everybody is acting. Sometimes it's alright to take a side.
Well, it's not that I'm not taking a side. It's more like... I shouldn't gossip to you. You're a combatant. It'd affect your morale.
What an interesting way to tell me that you side with Ulrich. Sometimes not saying something tells me all I need to hear.
Oh, that's No.
Now you're just putting words in my mouth. The only person I tell is the monarch.
Interesting.
What?
You're not the first person to unconditionally trust the monarch. Perhaps I could use that to my advantage in the future.
I think this is where I get back to the party. This whole scheming business isn't really for me, but I doubt the monarch would abuse their role for you.
You're probably right, Domek. They'd have to do it without knowing. Just imagine the swindling I could do.
I'm not feeling very comfortable now.
Do we know how to throw parties or what?
Who do you mean by we?
Our people. Like, the pure ones. We're different civilizations, remember? Did the old monarchy party like this?
This line of questioning is pointless. Why do you wish to know such trivial information?
It's what friends do, Howell. Haven't you ever heard of hanging out? You just talk to each other about everything.
Well, the old monarchy did party. And to be honest, there isn't much difference. Do you see this as a sort of competition?
Not exactly. Well, maybe? It's always cool to know you have the most fun. Do you not compare yourself to other people?
That would be a waste of time. There is no benefit in being like other people. We simply wish to be ourselves. Unique.
See? This is what friends do. They just talk. Keep going, Howell. Tell me what's on your mind. You don't need a specific topic or anything.
We would ask, why you consider us a friend? Does the world benefit from this conversation? Is there a purpose to this sort of interaction?
Yeah, just talking. Enjoying one personality.
Perhaps we should talk about the matter at hand. There is much to discuss about Vivian and Draku.
Nope, we can't talk about that. That's work stuff. We're here to unwind.
Another concept we do not understand. Every moment we waste, the enemy gets stronger.
It's not a waste, though. If our bond grows stronger, then so do we. It's important to get along with your comrades, Howell.
Very well. We will try. This party is an interesting experience. Are you having a good time, Fortame?
There we go. Now you're doing it right. Just a few more steps and you'll be ready to dance.
We would rather die.
You can have the option to romance Howell. He is so rigid and stale. It's just not for me. I can see where his strength and his mind lies. I'm just not interested in it. Doesn't mean it's not right. It's just I feel like I like people when they're relaxed and are willing to just, like 14 said, just unwind, talk about almost anything, even if the subject is cat hair mouth. Ah, dang it. Tooey. Anyways, so yeah, unwinding and just talking about anything just because. Just gives conversation. Makes things light. Parallel Chronicle, Halen 2. While the bodies were swayed on the dance floor, Halen and Shane did a dance of their own. Weapons clashing, they sparred. It was time for Halen to put his new apprentice to the test. So far, it seems like their skill was equally matched. A deadlock of the best variety.
You put up more of a fight than Sophie ever did. Where did you learn techniques like that, Shane? It almost feels like you're the teacher in this scenario.
You pick up a lot of stuff on the streets of Museo. Back when I was younger, it was either fight or die. A lot of the rebels are just like me, so get used to it.
Let me guess, you all banded together after the occupation. That means if I learn your weakness, I learn theirs. A weak strategy. All sharing the same fighting style?
Well, now I know why you wanted to spar so soon, and here I thought you might be warming up to me.
Don't flatter yourself, Shane.
Then stop giving me reasons to.
Witty. Their weapons clash again. Halen's sword with Shane's daggers. He had no problem being Halen's match with such small weapons. His agility and quick thinking was more than enough to counter his strength.
I guess Sovi wasn't much of a fighter.
He used to be, but I could tell he always held back. There was doubt in his mind, and it clouded his judgment. I trusted it would go away, but you know what happened next.
Yeah, and he's paying for his mistakes. But you can trust me, Halen. I won't let you down. Remember what I did when we were in Mazeo.
You killed your former leader, your best friend. I don't need anything else from you, Shane. That proves your loyalty almost tenfold.
Good.
Shane sheathes his daggers, done with sparring.
So what do you think Sovi will do next? I mean, he's no longer welcome in Balteus, right?
I saw him wandering the halls before he left. It's funny. He might actually try to seek out the blade. He was saying something about Alarinthia over and over.
What makes him think it'll be in Alarinthia?
Well, the rebellion will try its hardest to survive. After what we did, it makes sense that they'd flee the mainland. They can't come here, so the only other option is Alarinthia.
It makes sense when you put it that way. Maybe he can regain his honor after all. But I have to ask, why aren't we going?
The rebellion will come here eventually. We have the home advantage if we sit and wait. There's no way they can overpower our army.
That's smart. So we're really doing this. We're going to end the rebellion.
And any more that may come. I sense a bright future for us, Shane. And we'll do it all. For the Triumvirate!
Yeah, for the Triumvirate.
I'm wondering if he's doing this to stay on their side, to be sneak attacking, or this is a side of him converting. I guess we'll see when times comes. Time for the private room, and then potentially the next episode, the battle. Heck, it could even be in this episode. As soon as I get to my private quarters, I rest the blade beside the bed. It feels good to get the weight off my shoulders. Too bad the relief would be ephemeral. I sit down on the bed, and I think about what would be coming in the next few days. A tournament to decide the fate of Alarinthia, an alliance to help us attack Balteus. Not even a day or two after the Colosseum battle, we'll be sailing to the final battle. Would we win? Or would we perish? The blade showed me nothing when I asked. I sit down on the bed and decide not to try using the blade again. The anxiety of not being able to know almost wasn't worth it. It was supposed to do what I wanted. Was it not strong enough? The blade was so mysterious. I'd probably never know. I lie down, having had enough of today's events. Things were crazy. Just when I think I get to relax, we're pushed into more conflict. But this conflict has clearly proven divisive among our team. Pro and Ulrich against each other? Vivian and Draku too? Perhaps this is a lesson that casualties are unavoidable. Close my eyes and hold onto a firm resolve in my heart. No. None of my comrades would die tomorrow. They'd survive. We were all survivors, and that's what we continue to do. Forever. Instead of falling asleep, however, I find myself someplace familiar. Same locale I found myself in after falling asleep in Peregrino. This wasn't just some random dream. I had to be here for a purpose. All I knew is that this was the Triumvirate's chambers. There was no doubt in my mind. But why was I here? Not only once, but twice. There needed to be a reason. The blade weighs heavy on my back, and I slowly pull it out. I can sense that it's pulsing with energy, reacting to something. I noticed the idol at the back of the chambers. That's what it was. But why was the blade reacting to something like that? It doesn't look like any spirit idol I've ever seen. What was it? I feel a strong pull, almost like I have no choice but to approach it. Click the idol to walk towards it. No, nothing to click on. Oh! I take slow, heavy steps towards the idol, and I feel eyes upon me. Not just one or two pairs. It's almost like all of Alestia is watching me. I can sense my comrades at my back, almost as if they're encouraging me. It helps me push forward as I feel resistance emanate from the idol. Why would I feel such a strong pull to something that didn't want me? I push through, in spite of that resistance, and continue to act instinctually.
Yes, fulfill your purpose. Do what you were meant to do.
I think I want to turn around. That's the Triumvirate's voice. I remember it from the last time I was here. I have no idea what they mean by my purpose. My purpose is to touch that orb with a sword, release the souls inside of it. You rub it in magic lamp, and then poof, you get a magic genie. But the genie says you need to give me souls. Is this demonic? I don't know. Still, I can't deny my instincts, and I keep pressing forward. It isn't much longer before I'm standing in front of the idol. It resonates pure malice and pure evil. It fills me with fright. I look down at my blade. Was I meant to destroy this? I'm confused as to why I'm doing what the Triumvirate tells me to. It's that conflict that causes this dream to end and jolt me awake. I rise up in a fright, grasping my chest and panting heavily. I look over at the blade, resting on my bedside. What happened? It feels as if no time passed at all, but it's already the next morning. Just what I needed. No rest before a massive battle. The fates were playing cruel tricks on me during this journey, but I had to keep going. I couldn't give in. It would be over soon. I stand up and strap the blade to my back. As if on cue, I heard a knock on the door before it's opened. Draku steps in, not seeming to care if I was receptive of him.
It's your turn, Monarch.
My turn? My turn? To take a shower? Oh, thank you. I'm really smelly.
We're transporting you to the Colosseum one by one.
Oh.
That way you're less inclined to try and escape us. You'll be the last one, so it's almost time to fight.
This sucks. I nod. It all makes sense.
I'd advise not wasting much time, but head to the Colosseum when you're ready. You'll be followed by myself and a few guards.
Okay.
Oh, and good luck. You'll need it. The entire nation will be watching and cheering, but whether it's for your victory or demise remains to be seen.
Oh, fair enough. He rests his back against the wall and crosses his arms. This is really happening. A battle to decide the nation's fate. I guess I'd head to the Colosseum when I was ready to fight. Alright, let's click on things. There's a book here. That's probably it. The book rests on the nightstand. I knew it. It look like a book, and that means it is a book. It appears to be about Coliseum battles. Not regular ones, though. Leadership ones. The kind of battles I'd be fighting in today. I wonder if it was placed here on purpose. We did play into Dracu's hands, after all.
The evolution of tournaments. Initially, rulers of Alarinthia were decided during a simple one-on-one battle, but citizens quickly realized that this was not the best way to gauge a potential ruler's true strength. They needed to add more. This is when the champion system came into play. Each fighter would elect a champion to fight by their side. This would not only test their offensive powers, but show how they handled defensive maneuvers as well. They'd have to fight their enemy and their enemy's champion while also protecting themselves and their champion. This made battles much more fun. Later on, the reserve forces came into play. Each leader would bring a force of about 20 or 30 men into battle with them. This was to make sure they knew how to lead an army efficiently as well. What started out as simple fights to the death have evolved into a full-on sport. Leaders must display their ability to fight, to defend, and to command an army. This ensures that Alarinthia is always in the best possible hands. Only the most competent warriors can win.
Fair enough. Actually sounds like good rules. And remember, this is not terrible. If you are set into this battle, you usually, unlike me and my comrades, you walk into this. You say, I'm ready for this. But you should also have your comrades and your champion, your companion, ready for this. So, other than that, you're fine. Don't jump in if you're not ready to. So if you're jumping into this, you should be prepared. As for my character, the protagonist, and anyone else that's going along with this, it's kind of pulled in, I think. Well, there's that. I'd go back to bed if it weren't so hot in this room. Oh, and I guess we also have a tournament to fight in. I just wanted to identify it. I didn't want to go to bed. Oh, they have playables. These look comfortable, but unfortunately, I have no time to waste. I need to get to the Coliseum as soon as possible for the tournament. Alright. Well, I'm just going to save, not just because I'm turning it off, because we're about to go to the next area. Alright. Well, I guess I click on this. Or not. No. Back up. Where? Private room? Where? Do I click on something somewhere? Nope. Not you. Is there a Coliseum button somewhere? Do I have to go outside the castle? I'll check. Exit? Travel back to the city? I think so. Castle? Ah, there it is. Into the Coliseum area? Yes, indeedy do. Ready for a giant battle. Hopefully no one dies. Oh my, okay. I thought we were gonna get into the battle in this one. No, we're getting set. Private room, main atrium, and arena. Alright. I'd make my way to the Coliseum, alongside Dracu and some other soldiers. It's a massive towering structure, almost putting the castle to shame. It makes sense that it'd be bigger. Alarinthia was all about fighting.
Well, here we are. If you head on inside, you'll find your allies. After that, you'll all be escorted to a private room.
Okay.
You'll have a few moments to prepare once you're in there. But I'd say within the next hour or two, the battle will be over. They don't last very long if both sides have prepared enough.
He crosses his arms, looks at me dismissively.
You may wonder why I'm doing this, even though you sided against me. The answer to that is, it's in my nature to show my enemies some kindness. I do not kill in cold blood. I will mourn you and honor your memory, Monarch.
Now I feel bad! Gosh dang it, everyone painted a bad picture of you. You sound gosh dang nice. Unless he's being all buttery cupping at, buttercups. But gosh dang it, this sounds nice.
It is a noble thing to die for your beliefs. Perhaps your memory will inspire future generations. Generations that can go on to be killed, just like you.
Was that nice or not? He steps forward, looking me dead in the eye.
I do not expect to lose to Vivian. I've killed far stronger men than him. Some would call you foolish for your choice.
With a smile, he lets out a soft laugh.
But I am not one of those people. As I said, I treat my enemies with kindness. You may have realized it, but that's why I held the ball. But the ball is over, so I must find another way to be kind. And that is showing you a swift, painless end in the Colosseum. You wish to die for your beliefs. It would be my honor to aid you.
You know, if I were to go through this again, after finding out all of the corrupt sides and good sides, rub it up, dub. You rub it up your engine out there. But I would like to see. I'm not going to record it, but I would like to see what each side has to itself. Like, siding with it, making it a pure purity side. Now, if we can recall at this point, choosing Valessa to be the town's leader is the first pure action. Or the first corruption I made was choosing Fortame. The second one was being a necromancer instead of giving spiritual seeing powers to others. The third one was choosing Vivian instead of Draku. Let's see how many more corruptions we might come across. And then I will keep in mind, hopefully, to which ones I need to change to make it a pure run. Anyways, let's continue before the video gets too long. After saying these harsh words, he enters the Colosseum. I have no choice but to follow him, as the guards block any avenue of escape. There was no way we'd lose. We have Ulrich on our side. He's a match for Draku. Rubba-dee-doo-doo. Who needs that much energy power popping out of their gas tank? Anyways, I guess we'll click around and then we'll see his have his position, and then we'll go on. The Colosseum towers over me. It must fit thousands of spectators. From everything I've heard, every seat would be filled full of people when we started. I'm filled with anxiety and fright. Could I really perform under such scrutiny? Did I say scrutiny the proper term there? I don't know. Alright. Parallel Chronicle Sylvie. Dope! Last time I was here, we had an ultimate song with singing. Sylvie looks at the ocean, watching the ripples and waves. He remains silent, attracting the suspicion of the captain. Approaching Sylvie, he attempts to converse to pass the time.
It shouldn't be longer than a few more hours, but I have to ask, what brings you to Alarinthia?
It's probably better for you not to know. I don't want to involve people in my problems.
Involve away. What else are we going to do? You paid me tenfold to take you and you alone. How can you expect me not to question that?
I expect you to do the job you're paid for. Anything else is unnecessary. Don't you agree?
Look, the way I see it, we're friends here. If you need a ferryman back, I'd love to help you out. Treat me with a cold shoulder and you could get stranded.
Is that a threat?
Of course not. I'm just curious. Here, let's start with the basics. What kind of work do you do? You already know what I do for a living. Don't you think I deserve to know as a courtesy? I don't care if you're breaking the law or anything like that.
No, I'm not breaking the law. But honestly, I don't know how to answer your question. I guess you could say that I'm between things right now.
And why is that?
I thought it was time to seek out better opportunities.
In Alarinthia?
To be honest, I have no idea. I just know some people who might be there. Talking to them should get things on the right track.
And what line of work are you in?
I guess you could say I seek out information. Nothing pleases me greater than learning the truth. But the people I worked for were far less than honest.
Lied to by your bosses? Join the club. They'll do anything to save face and get their way. That's part of why I work on my own now. I get you.
The captain scoffs, surprised at Sylvie's earlier hesitance.
Is that what you were so worried to open up about? Trust me, almost everybody knows what that's like. I hope your next opportunity is more fruitful.
I can only hope.
So what did they lie to you about?
Everything.
Then I can see why you'd run away.
Excuse me?
I just mean, it's totally understandable. Sylvie steps forward to the captain, clenching his fists. He's bringing himself face to face, as if trying to intimidate.
I'm not running away. I'm doing what's right.
The captain matches his gaze, taking one step forward. He doesn't give in to Sylvie's intimidation. He wasn't even matched.
Sometimes running away is the right thing to do.
They stare at each other until Sylvie backs away. Something was different. Normally, he would stand his ground. But he no longer served the Triumvirate. He had nothing to prove.
I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't mean to start something on your boat. Once we get to Alarinthia, you'll never see me again.
There's no need to go that far. Don't misunderstand me. I've got your back. You're not the only man who's run away, you know. Why else do you think I live at sea? Sometimes I don't set foot on land for weeks at a time. I prefer to be out here, where I live on my own terms. I'm free.
Free,
Yeah, there's no better way to live. Imagine not being shackled by higher-ups. You're fully capable of making your own decisions.
Sylvie sighs and looks down at the ground. It was his own decision that got him into this mess to begin with. But even though the Triumvirate wasn't pleased, he stood by his actions.
That would be wonderful. I've been a subordinate for my entire life. I think it's finally time that I carved my own path.
You know, that sounds pretty dang honorable and nice. Well, let's just save here. And I thought we were going to get the battle, but... Okay, I didn't think we'd get the battle today. But then I thought when we got closer to it, we were walking to the arena. So I thought maybe we were. But anyways, the battle will be soon coming. But this story is so well told. So good. Anyways, thank you guys for stopping by, and more will come. So until I see you guys again, have a great day, everyone.